I really don't want to do this. Okay, now I've called David Guetta once or twice in the past the bane of EDM, but I haven't really gotten a chance to really elaborate on why that is. So here's why that is. See, David Guetta is well known for a couple of particular songs. The main song that he is well known for is a song called Sexy Bitch with Akon, and, well, the beats would drive someone insane. Of course, the album Nothing But the Beat is full of that. If you enjoyed that, get ready to listen to it for an hour. And then there's Nicki Minaj, who has been discussed multiple times. Again, Nicki Minaj is very capable putting in good music, but it seems like she's putting more of her effort into making bad music because she knows it will sell better. That's a real shame. I honestly would love to hear good music from both of these people. And the reason I'm so concerned about this is because I've heard these two work together in the past. See, David Guetta is known for his blandness kind of taking over the artist's soul, and that does happen with Rida on the song Where Them Girls At. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen with Nicki Minaj, who is pretty terrible on this song. I mean, I hear a little bit of her characteristic weirdness, which can be a good thing, by the way. The problem is that she's too weird on this song. Way too weird. And then there's the other collaboration that I've heard from these two, Turn Me On, which sounds like a decent enough song. But this one has the opposite problem. Instead of Nicki Minaj dominating the song with how weird she is, David Guetta dominates the song with blandness. Which, unfortunately, doesn't really make it that much better for me. I understand that a lot of people would like this song, but I don't. Mostly because what I listen to is a lot better than that. Again, not faulting you if you like it. That just means you and I have different tastes. Well, let's not beat around the bush any longer by talking about the history of these artists. Let's get into Hey Mama. You know, this doesn't sound that bland at all. In fact, it sounds like it has a very particular personality. Something a little bit more... Oh yeah, that's right. There's two collaborators on the song. Afrojack, which, let's be honest, as another producer, it's kind of hard to tell what stuff comes from Afrojack and what stuff comes from David Guetta. So, unfortunately, it's going to be very hard for me to discuss his contribution to the song. And then Bebe Rexha, which, from what I can tell, is really only providing some backing vocals. In fact, in the lyric video, she wasn't even credited. That's weird. But, whatever. Let's hear what Nicki Minaj is rapping or singing. She sang in Turn Me On, so that's possible too. Is going to add to this song.
Yes, I be your woman. Yes, I be your baby. Yes, I be whatever that you tell me when you're ready.
Interesting. You know, I wouldn't expect Nicki Minaj to do a song about being loyal to one significant other. And if she did, I would expect it to be highly, highly sexual. This, though, seems perfectly nice. But I know better. I know better. This is going to start just like Titanium, and then Gettatron is going to swallow Nicki Minaj whole. Okay, it's building. It's building. And building is normally bad for the singer. So let's hear David Guetta's blandness just set in all of a sudden. What? It didn't get bland. It didn't get bland. Okay, you could easily say that this was Afrojack's input, but I've heard the occasional David Guetta song where he just keeps things musically interesting by going back to the beginning of the song. And that's exactly what happened here. So, yeah. Sounds good to me. Let's hear the second verse.
Yes, I do the cooking, yes, I do the cleaning. Plus, I keep the nana real sweet for your eating.
I didn't say it wasn't sexual at all. I said it wasn't overly sexual. Don't get it twisted. The interesting thing here is Nicki Minaj doesn't really talk about being submissive. Just talks about being loyal and talks about how she is in control. And notably, she doesn't talk about drug dealers. Which almost every song from the Pink Print did. That's nice to hear.
Best believe that when you need that, I'll provide that. You will always have it.
Wait a minute. Didn't you sing this earlier?
Best believe that when you need that, I'll provide that. You will always have it.
Yeah, you did. You sang that earlier. My God. That was a Nicki Minaj hidden bridge. And it's an example of what happens when it's done right. See, the way these hidden bridges normally work with Nicki Minaj is that she just repeats the last half of the previous verse. Here, there was a musical change the first time, and there was a musical change this time. So it makes sense that it would actually be the bridge, even though the change was subtle enough where I didn't notice it the first time. Do more like this. And less like what you did in Anaconda, please. I'd appreciate that. This last verse, which, like Turn Me On, is a straight rap verse, actually ties together the two main concepts of the song, being more of this, you know, supportive wife figure and being this sexual freak. I mean, let's face it, the sexual parts of the song, that's what it's about. In fact, she pretty much overtly says it at the end of the verse.
Keep 'em please, rub 'em down, be a lady and a freak. Oh.
So yeah, David Guetta made a good song. I mean, to be fair, David Guetta is not terrible. He's just bland most of the time. No. There are some of these producers who decide to make their own albums because they have their own vision of what they want, who are much, much worse. Next week, I'm going to be fighting the real enemy. We the best.